All right, welcome back everyone. So today we're going to be talking about some of my first thoughts and a couple of the problems that I have with the X-Maxx. This is the X-Maxx version 2, the 8S. And so when I first got the box, I was impressed by the size of the box. The box was tremendous. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a big car. And then I actually see it on the side of the box that says actual size. So then I was excited about it. I mean, it's giant. The video won't do it justice. I mean, I'm a 6-foot guy. I feel like I got a pretty big hand at least. I mean, this is just for the tire. They're made for the body size. I mean, even for the weight. It doesn't weigh as much as you'd think it would for its size. I mean, it does have some weight to it, of course, but it's not what you would think. One of the things that I liked about Traxxas, because I'm going to take this off here and try to show you some things, is they got rid of the pin system. You know, everyone has the little pins, you stick into it, you lose them, it's a pain in the butt, you hate doing it. At least for the X-Maxx, they got a little clip-on thing on the back here where you just kind of slide it to the side, pull up on it, and just slide your car out. But while we're still on this system, this is some of the things that I wish they improved on it with. Is whenever you slide this to the side, there isn't very much room to pull this up with, like with your finger. So you're kind of grabbing on these two little things and pulling up with, which is not a big problem, but it's still something I wish they had more of a handle to grab to. Like I feel it on my fingers. It kind of hurts a little bit trying to pull this up, but it's not very easy, at least what I have, to pull it up. No means is it hard, but you just wish that there was a little bit bigger handle, something out of the way, wouldn't get caught on while you're bashing around, would have been nice. All right, so whenever I've got it in here, I was impressed too by how beefy it was. Everything in here is real big, thick plastic. Nothing seems small, even like the dog bones in the front. Everything's real giant for smashing and bashing around. And I haven't broken anything, and I've been going over 15, 20 foot tall piles of dirt on a construction site, not really jumping off of that high so far. I will get to it though. But nothing has broke, flipped upside down. Everything's been great. I even had a buddy who brought out an E-Max and stuff that he was getting stuck on, couldn't go through. I was just bashing through it and kept on going, which is a great feeling, of course. All right, so one of the things here I bought these from SMC Racing, I think it is. This is the 3S lipos with 7,200 milliamp hours, and this is the 90C, I think. I think they were like $75 each. And I'm getting probably roughly 45 minutes runtime. Of course, I'm not doing the straight runway, just straight speed tracks. I'm more of doing the bashing kind of things, jumping, going through trails, and yeah, I'm getting about 45 minutes. So I've been pretty pleased with these so far. And I like that whenever the Traxxas sent the foam things that they come with in the box, get these little foam spacers for your batteries. That at least these batteries fit perfectly in there. There's no wiggle room whatsoever. I mean, you slide it in, pop it down, and this thing doesn't move. They did come with an adapter if you have the smaller batteries, I think the 2S. So when you pop it in there, slide it down. I have a little bit of tiny room right here, but I haven't had any issue with it. But for the 2S's, you have an extra adapter so that there is no more bouncing around when you're doing big jumps. Alright, let's get this out of there. It's very easy, you just pop them two forward and it pops right up. One of the things too I noticed is the Traxxas stability management that is on here. It's actually on the controller here under multifunction. It would be nice if they just named it what it actually is. At the straight up and down point, that's where the default setting is. You can turn it a little more to the right for more, and you can turn it off all the way and turn it to the left. But with having it in the default section is what I've been running it as, you can definitely tell that it's on. Whenever I'm going over jumps, you can actually see the X-Maxx trying to balance and level itself out. It starts going off sideways on the jump. You'll see it kind of trying to self-right, and even when we were seeing it, my buddy and I were like, wow, you can see it doing it. So we were pretty impressed with that. It's pretty cool doing it. Even when I tried, I was like, oh, let me turn it off. So I would turn off this stability management, and then yeah, it wouldn't want to correct itself. So I liked having it on. I left it on most of the time. So I was pleased with it. One of the other things that's nice is they have a little button on the top where you can put it in different modes. There's the sport, where that's just full blast. You can do whatever you want to at full power. You can go reverse. If you hold it down a little longer, it goes into race mode, where you still have full power to forward, but there's no reverse. And also, because I have a couple of kids, if you hold it down for the third setting, you get 3 little light blinks and you let it go. It goes into training mode, where everything is at 50% power. Even at 50% power, this thing still goes. Even they were like, oh, this is too hard to control. My kids were. So I was happy that at least it had that on there. One of the things I wasn't so happy with is the self-riding. I have used it to try it out. I won't be using it because to me it's not worth it. The first time I was able to do it, it wasn't able to ride itself. So it sat there for like a minute, it would do its thing, it would try to, and notice, alright, let me explain. If it's straight on its back, it'd ride itself pretty easily. But if it's leaning to the side at all, kind of like this, let's flip it over here. If it's on its side like this, it has more of a hard time. If it's straight like this, it's able to do it easier. Anything beyond that, I noticed it would just spin the gears, flip itself a little bit to the side, and it would kind of sit there and wouldn't do anything. And by the time it would get itself over, I could have walked in and flipped it over myself without having to maybe damage it trying to fix itself. So that is something I wish they would improve on. But I guess maybe if you're trying to race or something and you're up in a high tower and you don't want to have to walk down and get it, that would be great to do. But I haven't really used it that much just because it didn't seem like it was worth it to me. Alright, a couple of the problems that I had. On it when I first got it out of the box, I was driving it around, and some of the times when I would hold down the trigger to go forward, it would not go. I would let it off, squeeze it again, it would not drive no matter what. If I would put it into the reverse, instantly it would start backing up and going what it needed to do. Squeeze forward again, it would not go. I didn't mess with it at the time, and it seemed to work itself out. So that was really on the first day that I had that issue. Anything after that, it's been going good. So I haven't tried to look more into it to see what it is, to see if I need to try to calibrate it, but it's worked itself out. And here's the biggest one that I had, which is an easy fix, thankfully, is when I was doing some of the jumps, my pinion came loose. So I could hear it, I would squeeze the trigger, and I would just hear the motor spin, and nothing would go. So instantly I knew, oh, the pinion must have came loose, or something broke when the teeth came off. Which these are the metal gears, which I'm happy about. So I figured it wasn't that the pinion came loose. I took off the motor cap, and I could see the pinion just sliding around easy. Which, for me, only driving it at the time for probably 3 or 4 hours, I feel like I shouldn't have to be tightening up the pinion already when I really haven't barely even used it or put it to really bashing it up yet at that time. So that was a bummer when we're out there riding around having to fix it already. So it was easy fix. You just pop off the 2 covers, tighten down the Allen key, and I was back in business and haven't had an issue since. I'll keep you up to date with that if it keeps happening, because I've seen a couple other people, and that's another thing that led me instantly to what it was, is that somebody else said that their pinion gears were coming loose almost right out of the box. So that would have me worried, and I'm hoping it isn't like a chronic problem that's happening all the time. Alright, so overall though, loving the X-Maxx. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. I would recommend anybody else who wants a bigger car for sure, who wants to run around, smash and bash, and pretty much just drive anything through it. The size on this thing, again, I love the size. For me, some people want a smaller car, but you can't go wrong with this. This is great. But if you want to see some more videos of the X-Maxx, I'm gonna start putting it through some bashings. I'll record some videos, me jumping, flipping it. I'll even do some videos of the self-riding, so we can see maybe if it starts working itself out. I'll show you, well, how it hasn't really worked for me. But if you want to see those videos, give me a like if you like this video, and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing weekly videos on what we can put this through. And I'm actually going to get a couple of new cars, and we'll be putting them all through the paces. All right, thank you for watching. I appreciate it.